let's talk about the supporting paragraphs. All right, in the supporting paragraphs on the SAT, it's pretty standard as well. All right, the first sentence is transition. Okay, so a lot of people struggle with transition sentences, but I'm just going to give you an example of how I think of transitions. All right, basically, I try to find the similarities between two examples and the differences. So, for example, in both of these cases, like World War II/Hitler and Rosa Parks, they're both dealing with social injustices, right? This one is oppressing the Jewish people. This one is oppressing the African American people, right? So both oppressing a group of people. Now, the differences are, right, that in number one, this is world history, okay? And a little bit further back, this is American history, right, and a little bit more recent. So what I might write in my transition is, if I'm coming out of the World War II paragraph and into the Rosa Parks paragraph, I might say something like, but this hasn't only been shown, but these cases of social injustice have not only been shown in world history, but also closer to home in American history. Right, so I've used both the aspects, right, the differences and the similarities to write a nice transition between World War II and Rosa Parks. Okay, now sentences 2 and 3, maybe even 4, background. Okay, so you're basically just describing what happened. All right, so for example, in World War II, I might talk about how Hitler made some rules that called for the extermination of Jews and to send them to concentration camps, right? Just give background that's relevant, okay, to the topic at hand, okay? I don't want to just give any general background. I want the relevant facts, okay? So that's important. It's also important to keep opinion out of your background, okay? I'm not really saying how this works within my essay, really. All right, I'm just describing what happened. Now, in sentences 4 and 5, this is where I'm basically describing how it fits into the essay. Tie it back to your argument, right? So in the case of World War II, we might say something like, this just goes to show, right, that rules should not be blindly followed, right? If rules are oppressing a particular people and are immoral, they should definitely be challenged, right? So we're basically tying back this description, right, of what happened back to our broader argument that rules should be challenged, okay? That is basically the general structure of your supporting paragraphs. Now, one extra thing I would say, you want to start this essay very, very strongly, all right? The readers only take about a minute or a minute and a half to read your essay. That means that you want to hit them hard at the beginning, right, with very impressive intro and a very impressive first and second supporting paragraph, all right? So what that means for you is that really you should pick whichever one of these 3 examples you think you can write the best supporting paragraph on, right, and write that one first, all right, and follow it by your next strongest, and then by finally what you think is your weakest example, okay? So that's just a little bit about the order of the supporting paragraphs, but really what you should care about mostly is the structure within a particular supporting paragraph. So the transition, a couple sentences of background, and then a couple sentences to tie it back to your argument.